shooting, watch this, y'all, 10 for 40 from the field. What the hell? After the game, Ty Lue talked about the message he gave PG after the tough loss in Game 2. Take a listen.
Just after the game, we landed. We got back home. First person I called was PG. I just told him, we wouldn't be in this position without you. So that game's over. It happens. Doesn't mean anything. He took care of their 2 games at home, and now we got to go home and win our 2 games. That's the most important thing. So can't look in the past. We got to look ahead. And I called him. I called Pat Beverly. I called a few of the guys and just said, that's over. We had a chance to steal one. We didn't do it. It's behind us. And now we got to move on. So I thought PG did a great job of just moving on, like you said, and having a big game for us tonight in Game 3.
Acho! Real coach right there. Did the Clippers prove they're the better team in Game 3?
No, I like Ty Lue. I had to answer the question first, but I really like Ty Lue.
No, he's not a real coach, or no?
No, they did not prove that they're the better team. Sal, you've taught me this. I've heard this before. Y'all know this. We all know this.
Respect.
You never judge a man or woman at their lowest point.
Okay.
Never do that, right?
Yeah,
if I fall on hard times, don't judge me when I'm at my hardest time. Look at the aggregation, my highs, my lows, and then make your assessment. But don't ever judge somebody when they're at their lowest point. I'm not going to judge the Phoenix Suns last game. That was literally their lowest point. Let's start with their star player, Devin Booker. He's never shot that bad through 85 games, regular season 72 and the 13 in the playoffs. That's his lowest shooting percentage ever this season.
Ever?
Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns collectively. They shot 38% from the field. Third worst shooting percentage over 85 games, 72 regular season and 13 in the postseason. Third worst shooting percentage. So I'm not going to judge the Phoenix Suns collectively based off that last game. What y'all didn't hear in that Ty Lue sound about PG, after they lost Game 1, Ty Lue said in talking about PG that he talked and reminded PG that he's not who PG was last year, that you never judge a man by one game. You never judge a man by one series. And thus, I'm also not going to judge the Phoenix Suns off one game, particularly their worst possible game. Devin Booker don't shoot 5 for 21. He literally doesn't, because he's never done it before. Devin Booker don't go 1 for 7 from 3. Devin Booker is trying to figure out, one, how to play with a face mask on. He called Rip Hamilton the night before the game. Y'all remember Rip? One's the 0-4 finals for the Pistons. He calls Rip Hamilton, famously known for wearing the face mask because he broke his nose countless times. Says, "Hey, big dog, how do I play with this thing?" Rip Hamilton told him, "My only piece of advice, never take it off." So Devin Booker's trying to figure out how to play basketball when it feels like he's wearing a helmet. I get the confusion there. Chris Paul, first game back after missing 2 games of COVID, 5 for 19 from the field. That's not Chris Paul, and that's not Chris Paul's character, his DNA. No, the Clippers did not prove they are the better collective team off winning one game. Were they the better team last night? Yes. Is that all that ultimately matters for last night? Yes. But who's the better team in totality? I still like the Suns.
You still like the Suns?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm glad you don't love them anymore. I noticed that. Freud, anybody? Freud? First of all, I got to celebrate a little bit. Let a little of this leak out. Because you came on here with a great take, with tremendous intel. You even pulled up the heartstrings. He called up Rip in a despair moment. But I got a Bobby Shmurda on your ass. I told y'all this was going to happen right where we want them. Oh, we the better team, and it's going to show. We were the better team during the regular season when we played them. Yeah, they had a better record than us, but in the regular season matchups, or those 3 games, we won 2 of them. And now, if you look at this series, we're down 1-2. But be real, Acho. You used to play the game. You used to text your boys after the game like, "Man, we gave that one away."
Yes, sir.
Bruh, if you were on the Clippers at the game 2, you were like, "Bruh, we gave that one away."
That's true.
So it really should be 2-1, but I don't play the hypothetical game. Let's get into this take right here, because I got to come back, my boy Acho. Woo! I care about the Phoenix Suns, so I'm going to do something that you didn't even do. I'm going to judge them at their lowest point, because their lowest point right now is going to be their new norm, and they need to get used to it. Think about it. Anybody in your life, when they hit rock bottom, you don't judge them unless you think, they're going to stay there. I think the Phoenix Suns going to stay there, so let me show you my Hallmark card, my heartfelt emotions toward this team. Boy, y'all in trouble. Let's start at the top. Devin Booker.
Yes, sir.
Devin Booker. Don't blame it on the mask. I know the mask is impairing you. I know it's difficult. But Devin Booker, there's been a trend with this mask and that broken nose. And it's the mask that is masking the real issue. Wordplay. It's Patrick Beverly. You got mad at me when I dug in the weeds to go find Marcus Morris' ass. Wait till I go find Patrick Beverly. I am underground looking for Patrick Beverly, and I found him. He was the hero of game 2, but that got lost in the headlines because of the alley-oop. Now, we're going to talk about Patrick Beverly because let's look at this full screen of Devin Booker, the masked one. Woo! The sun is setting, y'all. The sun goes down. Devin Booker in game 1, 15 of 29, 40 points. We remember that triple-double, first time in the Western Conference finals, and he balls like that. Patrick Beverly only played 15 minutes that game. Ty Lue was out there playing chess, just trying to figure it out, slow playing this, not checkers. It doesn't happen fast. Games 2 and 3, Ty Lue said, Patrick Beverly, you jump on Devin Booker. And T-Man, we'll sprinkle you in as well, just to throw him off. Look at games 2 and 3. 10 of 37. Combined 35 points in 2 games. That is fewer than 1 game where he balled out in game 1. Here's another thing that I want you to just take notice of. Not only Devin Booker is going to be an issue in terms of them resurrecting themselves, Chris Paul is out of sorts right now. You can blame Corona. You can blame COVID. But I'm telling you guys, it's also the pace of play. Monty Williams talked about this postgame. Chris Paul talked about this postgame. Now, man, I'm prophetic up here, bro. I'm going to tell you what I said, and I'm going to tell you what they said. Chris Paul says this postgame. We missed campaign.
Of course.
I've been at home watching these last 2 games, and I saw the pace he was playing with. Chris Paul was better for this team on FaceTime than he was. Helen told me to say this. I got than he was on full court. But let me just stop that. All I'm saying is, man, they in trouble for real. People thought I was a hater. People thought I wasn't on to something. I'm telling you, if this team doesn't change their dynamic, they are done.
If you would have told me that Campaign was only going to play 4 minutes and Chris Paul would play 39, I would have co-signed your take yesterday. I didn't think that the addition of Chris Paul plus a Campaign injury, thus Campaign not playing at all. Let's talk about it like this.
Let's go.
Campaign is the 3rd best player on the Suns as it pertains to getting his own shot. Maybe the 2nd. In all honesty, I like Devin Booker, and then I like Campaign, and then I like Chris Paul, and then I like Ayton when it comes to creating your own shot.
Can't be mad at that.
The Suns lost that, big dog.
Yeah.
If you can't shoot the ball from the field, if you can't shoot the ball from distance, 15, 20 feet away from the basket, what does everyone say? NBA players, analysts alike, just see it go through the hoop. Just try to go to the cup. When the Suns were shooting 38% from the field, you want to know what would have helped? Having your 3rd leading scorer over the course of the playoffs and Campaign, that would have helped over the course of this playoff series. Then you want to know what would have helped? Having a guy who could go get you a layup. Campaign went 12 of 24 in prior games. Like, that would have helped. So, assuming Campaign does not return because he sustained that left ankle injury early on in the game, assuming Devin Booker cannot adjust to the mask, then I'll give you that. Like, I will. Or if you want to say you'll take it, you can take the Clippers being the better team if the Suns have the Campaign out and if Devin Booker doesn't adjust. Remember what I said last week. The greatest thing for the Clippers is their depth. The Clippers can sustain that loss of Kawhi Leonard because you still have Paul George. You still have Reggie Jackson, who has had a resurgence that I ain't seen before or predicted. You still have Marcus Morris, who does show up, but he does disappear at times.
Yeah.
The Suns, though, they can only sustain certain losses. Like, they did steal a game in game 2. I know you don't like to say that they did, but me just kind of sitting neutral. I don't really love the Clippers. I don't love the Suns. I love good basketball. I'm like, the Clippers should have won that joint.
Yeah.
The Clippers did lose a game, and the Suns did steal that game in game 2.
Right.
I don't know that the Suns can sustain a Campaign injury because Campaign gave you 29. Campaign was driving and getting layups. So in the event Devin Booker does have an off night, Campaign can go get buckets. That, to me, though, does not prove that the Clippers are a better team because what did I say first? I'm not going to judge the Suns at their lowest point. And Campaign with an ankle injury, Devin Booker with his worst field goal percent shooting, that's the lowest point. I'm not going to assess them as that.
So you're not going to do your job. You're not going to be a responsible media member. My boy Kwame was right, man. I don't know what I'm doing in this industry.
What Kwame say?
You. He talking about you. You ain't going to judge him at their lowest point. You know
you told me I can't do that.
I telling you.
About Cam Newton. You told me I can't judge Cam because he was at his lowest point. You never judge a man at his lowest point.
Well, I got a better example than Cam Newton, and that was